Hi everyone, this is Adrian.
And I'm Carrie.
And for today's episode, we are going to talk about a specific topic, which is, does price dictate quality? Does expensive mean better? Right?
Right. Does expensive mean better? So this is something that you kind of learn the hard way when you start into a journey of fragrance collecting and stuff. And
Not for everyone.
well,
And
doesn't have to be.
yes, but it's actually a privilege to be able to learn a lot of fragrances, but along the way, you can get disappointed.
You can. And one of the things that we'd like to do is to prevent you from having that disappointment of lots of blind buy fails. So let's talk about, does expensive mean better? I think the simple answer is generally yes. Generally yes, but that's not the whole answer.
There's always going to be an exception, and you don't want to be
I'm going to show you what I think is an exception to does expensive mean great. So in short, I think that expensive doesn't always mean you're going to love it. Expensive a lot of times means several things, but a lot of times it comes down to the brand that you're buying. These days, it's so much harder to get to try something before you buy it. But if I can urge you to do anything, try things before you buy it. Before you sink possibly a couple or $300 or $400 into a bottle of
Not
anything.
everyone has for perfume.
That much money comes dear from anybody's pocketbook. Nobody parts with that much money easily and gets something they don't like and goes, I have friends who spend lots of money on fragrances, and even they get really bent out of shape when they buy something that truly does not meet their expectations. That being said, let's talk about what makes a fragrance expensive. What makes things cost a lot? What do you think makes a fragrance cost a lot?
Show me a fragrance that costs a lot.
Okay, well, here's a simple, easy one. Just to make it a little easier for people to see.
Tom Ford
Oud Wood.
We talked about this.
We did.
Yes, and the price is definitely luxury.
This is a luxury brand and a luxury price.
Yes, and tell us more about it.
Okay, so as much as I try to love this, I always end up complaining about it. And here's the thing. Tom Ford is a great perfumer. He has some amazing fragrances out there and some great marketing. I mean, let's face it, he comes up with like fabulous names like Effin' Fabulous for one of his scents.
Oh, wow.
Another one, Lost Cherry.
Oh, okay.
Big time expensive. $350 for a 50 ml bottle like this. And what were your thoughts on it when I let you smell it?
What? Cherry?
On Lost Cherry?
Oh, I haven't smelled
Yeah, you
it.
smelled it.
No, I didn't.
I had a little sample of it.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I
remember because I was waiting for your response on it. You're like, oh, that's really sweet.
Oh, okay. What's wrong with really sweet?
Because that's all it was.
Oh,
it's a cherry fragrance that smells a lot like a really sweet maraschino cherry.
Well, let's go back to Oud Wood.
Okay.
I'll tell you. At first, I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
It's a beautiful fragrance.
It's beautiful.
But what's the downfall?
Well, it doesn't last.
Yeah, it doesn't last.
It doesn't have much of a projection either.
Yeah.
So you're just going to end up enjoying this mostly by yourself.
Right.
So
yeah.
you're looking for compliments. It's beautiful
right.
and stuff like that. You really have to get them to be near you to smell. After an hour of spraying it, it's like even if the person's near you, they get only a hint of it.
Right. Can you tell that I'm wearing this right now?
No.
How would you know if I was?
Well, you're probably just kidding me and
I
psyching me
am.
out.
But it wouldn't be any different if I put it on an hour or two ago. It's all gone. And it's sad because it's a beautiful fragrance when you first put it on, and then it's gone. I don't care. People have told me, no, it lasts me 8 to 12 hours. Did you put the whole bottle on? Are you spraying it like Michelle? Oh my God, 15 or 16 sprays out of this expensive bottle? No. Gone. So we can't really say that the brand itself, just because it's a high-end brand, means that you're going to get high-end performance, high-end projection. It usually is good quality,
Yeah,
though.
but we still appreciate it.
We do.
We do appreciate it. It's just that you don't want to get like really sadly disappointed. It's like,
No.
yes, it is really beautiful, but it's just gonna be you enjoying it.
Yeah, it's basically something you would spray on your wrist and sit there and smell it while it lasts, which is probably going to be 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you won't be able to smell it because your nose has gone blind, and also it's fading away.
Yeah.
Yep. So one of the other things that makes it expensive is the house who is doing it, the specific brand. Their startup costs to having a brand, or maintenance and stuff for marketing and stuff. You know, big brands like YSL or Dior, Chanel. Those things all cost, those brands themselves cost a lot of money to maintain the mystique by advertising and having beautiful storefronts and hiring people that dress to the nines and stuff. But essentially, ingredients and the bottle, the box, and some marketing are what goes into the real cost of the fragrance. The fragrance designer and stuff, and then the rest of it is pump it out. I've said many times before, and I will repeat it again, that the ingredients are a small fraction of the total cost of what you're getting. Most of your cost really is in the bottle, the package, and the concept and the marketing.
Show us an example of something like that.
Okay, let's see, what's a good one here?
Okay, definitely Creed. We talked about this.
Yes, we talked about this one.
Oud Wood, Royal Oud.
Yeah, Royal Oud. Now, what's different about this one for you than Oud Wood?
Well, this one definitely is a good buy because it has a kick in the beginning, which I appreciate from perfume. Doesn't need to smell great at the start, but you are gonna be definitely noticed. You know, good few sprays of it, and then twirl, go in the room.
Yeah.
and then you get noticed.
Yeah. You walk through the room and people notice you. I wouldn't exactly call this one loud, but it projects.
It does project,
and people within a few feet of you, they notice you. It doesn't smack them across the face, but it definitely pushes who you are.
Yeah, and like I said, it does last too.
And it lasts a long time.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it.
You can do a few sprays of this one and it will last hours and hours. I put this on my clothes and I can smell it sometimes 2 or 3 days later when I pick up the stuff to throw it in the laundry.
As a fragrance rube, when I started out with fragrances, I didn't even know that this one was a luxury fragrance.
Yeah, this is a definite luxury brand.
Yeah. So tell us more about your points about what
so,
you're saying.
So here we've got 2 fragrances that if you put them ounce per ounce, they're probably about the same cost, around $500 for 100 mils. And one, you've got beautiful, poor performance. Another one, you've got beautiful, great performance.
Yes.
And, you know, depending on what you are willing to work with and stuff, either one could be great. Sadly, though, I think most people want to have something that really lasts and other people notice. And so they're not all cut out the same. Now, then you've got a couple others that you definitely will see here on this. Look at this nice box.
Okay.
Ooh, you're expecting something big, I hope. Look at that. Doesn't that look like you're getting something big in there? Let's get this out of here. This is a really special fragrance that I like a lot. It's by a brand named Argos. They have a pretty unique Eye of Horus as their trademark or their house mark. And then the rest of the thing, the designs are Greek. So that's a little bit, doesn't quite go together,
Well,
but
the
it's
bottle
cool.
already looks so expensive.
Right, look at if you can see the detail on the bottle, beautiful crystal bottle, lots of angles, name etched into it, sparkly things in the cap and stuff. Really nice, hefty cap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is in the same prices as like Royal Oud. And I love this. It has got beautiful presentation. I feel like I'm getting a royal gift. And then I open it up and see this beautiful thing in there with nice artwork on the front of it that I want to show off to people. And then, the smell. And while this doesn't last all day, when you put a few sprays or so of this on, maybe 4 sprays or so, 4 or 5 sprays, somebody who's standing near to you, like at a cocktail party or, like if you're going out to dinner with some people, they'll notice this. And this is rich, it's complex, the ingredients really stand out and you can smell different things.
Just letting you know, guys, we will definitely have a talk about this particular fragrance. We're just talking about an example of
right,
why is it expensive?
Right. It's a new house, probably less than 10 years old, by a fairly young designer, and I'm not going to go into specifics on it because we'll talk in depth about this on a single video. But the marketing and stuff on it is somewhat conservative. They don't go all out in putting this in magazines and TV ads and stuff. It's a niche brand, but people find their way to it. But a lot goes into the beautiful bottle. The ingredients are all really top end and they are expensive. This is one of the few that I would say the ingredients make up a significant amount of the cost of
So everything about this is expensive.
Right.
Okay, so it is worth it.
And I think that this is totally worth it. It's not something I wear every day. It's not perfect for every occasion.
Why would you wear it every day? I mean, it's expensive.
Right.
You shouldn't.
But for the right occasions, this is so perfect.
For the right occasion.
Right. This is something that a bottle may last you a long time because there's not always the occasion to wear the perfect cologne.
Which is really another thing we talk about when buying expensive perfume is when is it going to go bad? But how about this bottle? When is it going to go bad? 5 years, 10 years?
Notice that it has a kind of a dark color to it. All colognes should be kept out of the sunlight, the direct sunlight. The better that it can be kept in maybe a cabinet or something that blocks the sunlight and keeps it fairly cool, not cold, but room temperature 70-ish or something like that. It'll last a long, long time. Don't ever put your fragrances in the window in the sunlight because they'll go bad almost immediately. Okay. There's a lot of chemistry in that I'm not going to talk about because it'll bore people to tears, but anything that is kind of colored like this, don't put it in the sunlight. It may be beautiful for a few months or so, but it will go bad.
So how long do you expect a fragrance like this?
I think this would last for 20 years.
20 years with proper care.
With proper care.
Okay, so I mean, you just spent a fortune on it, so take care of it.
So we've talked about things like the ingredients. In most fragrances, they don't make up that much. It's a lot of things about the bottle or the marketing or something, just the brand itself for exclusivity. Sometimes you get all three. You get a beautiful bottle, you get really nice presentation, you get great ingredients and stuff, and a really wonderful blending, and everything comes together. So rarely are you going to find something that meets all of those in really high marks in almost everything, like one of these, but occasionally you do. Another one that I find is really beautiful in so many ways is a fragrance by Bortnikov.
Okay.
Bortnikov is actually fairly famous for their oud fragrances, but this is one of my favorites. It's called Amber Cologne.
Okay,
And look,
simple name.
yeah, look at the presentation of that. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna get buried.
Right. It's like it's in a coffin. But first thing you notice, this is not a gigantic bottle. This is as big as they come. When the largest size is 50 mils in niche fragrances, you usually know you're dealing with something where the juice is pretty expensive. And, nice bottle, nice heavy cap. Feel that.
Oh, wow, wow.
Yeah, that is no lightweight there. And then smell that and tell me what you think about that.
See, I wouldn't think amber is cheap if it came like this.
Yeah, it's certainly not.
Because, I almost thought amber would be something that, it's not so special. And you say amber cologne, so I'd be like, so what? But then if it came like this, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, and this is not a real heavy amber type fragrance. It's got a lot more florals in it and stuff than it does amber. I think they just use that name more to kind of express sort of the general impression of it and stuff, because it's like an amber color. But this is truly beautiful, and the price is luxury. The presentation is luxury. The ingredients are expensive, and the smell is pretty amazing, right?
Yes.
And this lasts and lasts and lasts.
Okay, we'll talk more about this.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So once again, just it's saying is, does expensive mean better? Well,
Most of the time?
most of the time, yeah. But that brings me to something that you have to consider. The other thing that expensive means is
Just the name.
expensive.
Oh.
So yeah, no, I wasn't trying to trick you. I was just trying to be sort of smart there. Expensive means expensive. For the price of one of these, you could have maybe 8 of these. Now, so yeah, for the price of one really luxury item, you could have 5, 6, 8,
Awesome fragrance.
good, awesome fragrances that really perform and that you enjoy and give you a spectrum of things to enjoy. And you don't have to feel like every time you spray it, you see money going up in poofs of smoke. Yeah. So, that's the other thing to be wary of. Does inexpensive or reasonable mean not so good?
Oh, that wouldn't be necessarily
No,
true.
it's not necessarily true, but it certainly can be true.
And that
because-
would be that.
So this, I think, is an
talked
example
about
of, La Odyssey. This one, the original one from back in '94, this is amazing. For a really reasonable price, you get an amazing, fresh, citrusy fragrance that
Yeah, but
lasts
it also has
and
a kick.
lasts.
It's got the citrus bomb in the
Yeah.
beginning, and then
Yeah.
and it's popular.
It's popular and it's beautiful. And so within a similar but somewhat, higher price tag, but same price range, you've got Acqua di Gio, which these are similar inspiration times and stuff. They're not the same at all, really, but their inspiration is similar. Acqua di Gio doesn't last a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty, but then it goes away so fast, just like Oud Wood. So one of the things I think you have to be cognizant of, price doesn't mean that it's always going to be the best investment for you. And price doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to like it. You should try before you buy. Higher end fragrances usually are really high quality, but high quality doesn't say the whole thing. You got to tell, does it work for you? Does it last? Does it perform the way that you want it? And if you spend all your money on one really expensive fragrance and you get 50 mils of it, how is that going to work in your fragrance wardrobe when you could have had 5 or 6 more versatile things that, you know, have all their own good attributes? And you just got to kind of like look out and find what things are the attributes that you like and what sorts of things really sort of represent you, because, you know, there's not too many fragrances that work for every season. We've talked about a few. In general, blue fragrances work for most guys all year round. It's not always the case with every one of them, but they're certainly popular partially because they're versatile. That being said, sometimes blue fragrances can be pretty boring because, like, you go out on a date or something like that, and you know, the person you're trying to impress is like, oh, I've smelled Sauvage on so many people, I know exactly what that is. Doesn't mean Sauvage isn't great. I love it, but it also is pretty well made its way around the block. So something a little bit more unique maybe catches somebody's interest more. So, you know, be careful when you start thinking that spending more money means that you're going to get something way, way better. It may be really great quality, but it may not suit your needs.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I think you need to go slow when you're gonna spend a lot of money. I think that's always wise to like test the fragrance, you know, go to review sites, see what other content creators say about it before you make a purchase, because just like any big ticket item, you want to do your research.
Right.
And when you do your research properly, chances are you're gonna have a good result.
Right. One example before we go, this one, the fragrance that you get from this one, it's exquisite. There are other things that are kind of like this, and, you know, but this one really is top notch.
Okay.
But for the price that you would pay for this one, a younger person who isn't making a ton of money to spend on, that they can just dump on fragrances, this may not be even in their consideration. But something like this smells pretty much in the same ballpark as this. It's a great performer, gets lots of attention, lots of compliments, and
Fraction of the price
of this. Probably at the most a fifth of the price of this. So that gives a younger person or a person who needs to round out their wardrobe a lot more room for versatility. So just an example of where you can go with some of these.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed what we've been doing here. If you have any questions on some specific things that fit into this topic, leave them below. We'd like to hear from you. Bye.
Take care.